All right. Looks like we're live, guys. Whew, thanks for joining me today. It's Dr. Chris Hucks. I just wanted to share something that's been really close to my heart. So I work with a lot of parents and entrepreneurs to help eliminate pain, get them stronger, build better habits. And, majority of them, and then this could be true of yourself, just you're busy, you have limited time, go go go. You're trying to create for God in your business. You're trying to make family impact, create a legacy. So I've just been reflecting. I've been reading this book called Faith Driven Entrepreneur. It's really been causing me to reflect on my business journey since 2019. And as entrepreneurs, we have goals, we have dreams, even as parents, right? We want to create, we want to impact, build something meaningful. So most of us, we wanted to get out of the system, the 8 to 5, 9 to 5 system. Want to break out, and even if this, even say you're working that, but you have a desire to get out. That's the key. If you have the desire to get out, this will apply to you as well. Or if you have the desire to have a family, but it's challenging. It's ultimately you're gonna have problems no matter what. You're gonna have problems whether you're doing the 8 to 5 thing, whether you're doing the business thing, um, whether you have a family or not. However, it's all about what type of problems do you want. That's really what it comes down to. I've just had to ask myself, am I building this on my own will or on God's? And this really hit me when reading this book. So, Faith Driven Entrepreneur, highly recommend it. And you know, answering questions such as this perspective. So, as a business owner, we feel like I have to make this happen. Versus faithfulness would be I work hard, but only God can make it happen. So having mentalities of that. Because, for example, there was a story in this book about the author was talking to this guy who was big with had helped out with Google, Facebook, Amazon, some of the biggest companies. He was in the middle of those, so he saw success. So the author asked him what traits, what's the top traits for business owners that are successful versus not. And the three that really stuck out are taking action, having urgency, and conviction, having this confidence. So we either have those or we don't. But if we're developing the business skills, if we're developing the parent skills, we start to develop those, right? We start to learn that we have to take action for our family, have to take action in our business. We have to have urgency, we have conviction. We're excited about the idea that we're trying to sell to people, whether it's a product or service. We're convicted. So these are ultimately the ones that determine if it's going to be successful or failure. And keep in mind too, majority of businesses die within the first year. But the challenge is you start to develop those, right? So you make it all about your journey. Once you start having those traits and you forget about God, we, and it's hard to release that control. Like, for example, just something I've been struggling with. So I could have my devotion, my prayer time in the morning and connect with God. And it's almost like a checkbox, right? So I check that off. And then it's like, okay, God, thank you. And then I'm going to go control and do my own thing from there. So that's so that's been a struggle. However, we have that time, and then He needs to be with us for the rest of the day. Then it's like, okay, let's do this thing together. Can make us just we lean into our own strength, our own plans, our own ideas versus trusting God and letting Him work through us. Another example would be with work, willfulness, like us controlling will be there's no room for anything but this. I'm obsessed and preoccupied. But faithfulness would be this is important but not consuming. It isn't just my life, it's just part of my life. So this journey can be very addicting. especially being a business owner. But it's just a piece. It's so much less than being a disciple. For example, for being a husband or wife, being a parent. It's just a piece of that. Um, and then I want to share this example. Just think about the disciples, for instance. They walked with Jesus, saw his miracles, still struggle to trust him fully. There's a story of them just worrying about having no bread right after witnessing Jesus feeding 4,000. How often do we do the same? We've seen God's faithfulness, yet when things get tough, we go back to controlling everything ourselves. How true is that? So that's how quick it happens. We can see a miracle, see something from God, but then we just go back to our own ways rapidly, especially when we're doing business and we're trying to grow a family. So so ultimately the switch is one. Here's another example. So we are ultimately how we feel. So willfulness, trying to take it under control, is I feel anxious, stressed, and under pressure. Versus faithfulness is I feel calm, confident, at peace. So having that mentality throughout the day, and that just comes that goes with giving God every decision, praying, small, big decision, just giving him everything is the key. And as business owners, we can feel very isolated a lot of time. We can just feel like we're going about this journey alone. But as long as we keep surrendering, keep giving it to God, then He's going to direct us. He's going to direct every step along the journey. So that's ultimately what I wanted to leave with you. And let me just share this: when we let go of our own will and bring God into our business, the results aren't just numbers or revenue. We start seeing spiritual growth, peace, and a deeper purpose in our work. God's plan for our business is often far greater than our own. And through the highs and lows, I've learned that God can do the impossible if we let Him. When we see us reflecting Christ's character and excellence in our work, they're drawn to something bigger than just our business. They're drawn to God. So this is what I wanted to leave with you guys. This is something that's been pulling in my heart, and something as faith-driven entrepreneurs or faith-driven parents, we just got to give Him every piece of our business, every piece of our family, and just on a daily basis, ask yourself: Am I operating out of faithfulness or willfulness? Am I letting God guide me, or am I trying to control it all myself? Because it's too big. When you have a family, have a business, it's just too big to be able to handle it yourself. So letting them in the center, asking for help, is so vital, guys. And it also, what it will show, this excellence, or having a menu, this excellence will start pouring over to others, your coworkers, your employees, your family, clients, everyone. It just starts flowing over to everyone. What's happening, Annie? So we have to give him everything, every part of us, to let him just take over, let him have the wheel, and then we're just the passenger. So we got to keep doing that on a moment by moment basis. Um, it's pretty much the. Let me just leave this verse with you, and one more thing. So this is from John 14:3. If I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. So that gives us an eternal perspective. And here's another good verse: abiding attitude. So remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. It's John 15:4. And then faithful entrepreneurs expect God to never leave or forsake them, or faith-driven parents. And that promise alone is enough to get them through any setback or difficulty. So just remember that if you're going through any difficulty, God's got you. He's right there with you, and just continue to give God your business and your family. Guys, take care.